Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show.
How you doing? The kids have come to play today. You won't believe what I'm about to tell you. With all due respect, have several seats. My girls are always turned out. I give it to you straight, no chaser.
Now, here's Wendy.
Thank you. I'll take them. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Here we go again. Yeah. Woo! You're the one. Thank you for watching. Say hello to my co-host, my studio audience. Oh boy. So much to cover. Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you. So good. So, there's a new relationship brewing, and you'll never believe who's involved. My dog, Shaquille. Okay, so he met his first girl over the weekend, and she's a blonde. And so, he's out for a walk, and her parents weren't anywhere around, and I don't know this bitch. And my Shaquille is only 10 months old now, and even though, you know how it is when you grow up larger than the rest of the people in your age group, how sometimes people want you to do more mature things. I don't know where she's been, so, but he does the correct thing. He sniffs her to be sure that she's clean. And then they continue with a conversation, and so she says to him, "Do you live here?" And I'll take the next picture, please. Yes. "Do you live here?" And so he's like, "No." "I live right up the block. I've never seen you before." "Well, my mom's not gonna like this, so I can't talk to her about this. But now, Shaquille, I have the receipts, and I saw you give her a kiss." He's way too young for any of that. We had a very stern talk. We won't be walking in that direction for a moment. For a moment. Anyway, Janet Jackson, listen. People are furious because they bought the tickets for her tour, but now she's postponed the tour until 2017 to start a family. Now, who are you callous people who don't understand when a woman is 49 years old and sitting on the last rotten egg, that when she wants to start a family, you have to just go with that. 2017 is only a year from now, and you'll still know all the words to Control and everything else. God willing, she won't do any new music, because no one cares. But, you know, like my Norman bought his ticket back in, where's Frack?
At home with the sciatica.
He has the sciatica.
Yep.
I gave him the Louis Anderson pin.
Yeah, he's recuperating now.
Okay, he's recuperating. All right. So, Norman bought his Janet passes back in July. Oh, look at him, who he's mad. July of 2015, and he's pissed. But you don't quite understand when a woman is 49 years old and she's married to an heir of a kingdom, a billionaire, and he's got no kids of his own. Like I was telling you, the kingdom is probably badgering him. Like, when are you gonna have kids? Okay, we gave you a pass because you married a lady who doesn't come from our country. You know what I mean? So we gave you a pass on that. Even though she's a Jackson, who cares? We've got more money. But the fans are very upset, and so they say that a lot of them say that they're not going to wait around for her and that they want a refund. Well, guess what? I don't go to a lot of concerts, so I had no idea that when somebody cancels a concert that you actually, it bounces right back to your credit card, the refund. See, I thought you had to call up, like when you want to return a blouse at Lord & Taylor. You know, you take the blouse in and you return it. It doesn't just bounce back on your credit. I'm not mad at Janet. Being a woman of a particular age, I totally understand. There were some selfish people, though, in my Hot Topics meeting this morning who were like, well, you know what? Janet's been married to this man for 4 years. She already knew how old she was when they got married, and she's older than him, and that he would have to sire an heir for the kingdom. So why didn't she do it then? Well, you all, I don't know. And so she thinks, though, this Janet girl, or as your sister LaToya would call you, Jan. Jan, you realize that at 49 years old, after you have your first child, if in fact this is your first child, if you know what I'm saying, and I think you do, you know, at 49 years old, you're gonna need more than a year off before hitting the road and getting back in the studio and stuff. I mean, you know, it's just a matter of the age thing, first of all. You're all crickety. And no! You know what I mean. I mean, the outside could look young and fly, but we all know the inside still ticks like your age. And like for Norman, who by the way is part of your Navy, he's a super fan.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even know where I'm gonna be in 2017. And then, you know, they start talking in the meeting, they're like, the world's gonna be a different place. Heck, OJ will be on the loose in 2017. And which is good for our show, because if we're here till 2020, then there's a chance that I can just, you know, have a conversation with the Juice again. Did I ever tell you this? After he was, it was read not guilty, you know, and he's a free man, one of the first stops that he made was to my radio show. I know. Problem is, I leave a lot of situations very volatile, which means I leave a lot of information, you know, a lot of stuff behind, and I'm not welcome to knock on the door and say, can I have the OJ tapes that I left in my, you know. That's okay, I'm on the TV. But yeah, so OJ, and then we'll have a new president in 2017. I don't know, Janet, I'm on your side. I feel as though a lot of the people who are judging you for this are less than understanding to a woman finally wanting to have a baby and exhausting all possibilities to have one. Good luck, Janet. And people are talking about Mariah Carey and the American Idol finale because she was the only one who was missing. The shade of it all. Everybody was there from Randy and Paula and Simon and her and him and them. I mean, everybody, whether they were there in person or whether they did a video to show, they were all there. Mariah was the only one missing. And I say, she probably thought that it was a big mistake in her career to a degree. I mean, you know, Idol keeps the judging panel relevant. Do you know what I'm saying? It does. But there was a lot of infighting with her and Nicki Minaj, and I was reading that Mariah, you know, always felt that, you know, the show set it up that way to make it so that the girls were battling because they felt as though that made it better TV or whatever. If I were in Mariah's position, marrying a billionaire, as well as I'm in Vegas with a residency, and I've got a full life with my twins, I wouldn't show up either. Yeah. I wouldn't have shown up. Because she's got such bigger stuff going. Like, I don't like reunions. You know, radio stations could have a reunion. I'll be the only DJ who's not there. I am done with my high school reunions. Never been to a college one, don't care much. Like, you know, I think the last high school reunion I went to was like in 10 years. And by 10 years, that was like 1992. You know, by 10 years, I was good. I was like, okay. Because after, first of all, about reunions, people's looks start to fall. And people start dying. And it just reminds you that you could be next. Now, I know it's April, and I know it is reunion season, but reunions make you happy, but in a weird way, don't they make you sad? In a weird way. I remember when I went to my 5-year high school reunion, it was like the best time ever because we were all just out of college, you know, 4 years for college. We were just out of college, still partying. Ow! Everyone was still basically on the same level trying to struggle and get a job, only I already was a DJ at that point, so I was doing well. But now people are dying. Anyway, Mariah, if I was you, I wouldn't have gone either. Oh. So over the weekend, I went to see The Boss with Melissa McCartney. Yeah. The thing is that, you know, when you have children, you have to plan activities. You just can't wait for stuff to come on TV. And part of the activity is, you know, getting to the movie theater, you know, sitting down in the seats and stuff. I was surprised that this was #1 at the box office. I mean, I dearly enjoyed it. I did. But in the theater that we went to on Saturday evening, there were only about 50 people in the theater. So I was like, wow, this is a really good movie. We laughed. At one point, I cried. There was a little heartfelt something going on there. Melissa, you were fantastic in it. The only thing that I didn't do is stay until the end. Well, look, you know, on account of my bones are right here now. You know, my booty started hurting, sitting for so long. You know, I can't stretch my long legs with a table. You know, I got the gist of what was about to happen. I'm not gonna give away the ending, but I do enjoy, like I went to Batman over when we were on vacation, like no bueno. First of all, I don't have 2.5 hours of patience for anybody. I could be the star of the movie and still wanna leave. Do you know what I mean? I don't have 2.5 hours of patience. I didn't really get the whole Batman thing, but you know, I hate to be left out of the movement, and they were going, so now I'm going too. I was asleep like a half hour in. I never got to see Wonder Woman. Yes! But the point is, I made the effort to go to the movie theater. Now, next weekend, I'm going to see Barbershop 3. That's it. Yep. And I hope it's not longer than 45 minutes. Oh, NWA. Congratulations to you for being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Good for you. But guess who's not happy? Friend to the show. I hate talking like this is why this job is so weird to me, because I still gotta pow be a straight shooter. But Gene Simmons, you are dead wrong for thinking that NWA doesn't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Well, he says he's looking forward to the death of hip hop. Now, I'm not gonna suggest that this was a racially toned statement, but the idea that he doesn't think that hip hop belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Gene, first of all, friend of the show, this makes you seem old and out of touch by even saying something like that. You know? And second of all, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it shouldn't be called Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it should just be called Music Hall of Fame. Because, I mean, at this particular point, you know, I mean, rock and roll is more than just music, it's the spirit that hits you when you wanna go, ow! Aretha Franklin's in, Madonna's in. Why shouldn't NWA be in? I don't think that this was racial. Again, I just feel as though this is an old man being a little out of touch. You know, Ice Cube wasn't having it, and he fired back, and here's what he said. He said, I think he's wrong on this because rock and roll is not an instrument, it's not singing. Rock and roll is a spirit. NWA is probably more rock and roll than a lot of people that he thinks belong over hip hop. Yeah. And you know, I mean, and I grew up on Kiss, but I always thought of Kiss as more than a gimmick than just besides the music. I mean, Gene, there you are with your tongue hanging out. You know, maybe Def Leppard thinks that you don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know. But Gene is already there, and now NWA is there, so deal with it. Oh, gosh. My weekend took me through so many, my shoe fell off. Through so many ebbs and flows. It started out with this poppin' party somewhere in Manhattan for Naomi Campbell's book release. The joint was jumping, okay? It was 70s theme. I wore a black sequins jumpsuit. And now, the thing about wearing a sequins jumpsuit is that you leave a trail wherever you are. Sequins just dropping off, you know? When we got inside, the music was 70s. I knew all the words. They played Sylvester, they played Donna Summer, they played all the jams that I know the words to, and then everyone was grown. First of all, Naomi is first of all, the party was at a good time. 7 to 11. Isn't that fabulous? I was home in time for the 11 o'clock news, you know? Second of all, Naomi's a great host. You know how sometimes a celebrity will throw a party but not get there until the 9th hour or make you wait till 2 in the morning like Madonna? When we got to the party, Naomi was already there and she was so gracious. Okay, who else did I say? Oh, Reverend Al Sharpton. Yup, he likes to party. Cheryl Lee Ralph was there. The clothing designer Marc Jacobs, who I met for the first time, he was there. We were right next to each other. Dave Chappelle, the comedian, who I'd never met before, he was there. We had a great time talking. Andre Leon Talley, yes, he was there. Anyway, there were so many people. D Nice, the rapper, who's now a DJ, he was there. It was just a lot of, Naomi, thank you. You were a fabulous host, and I had a wonderful time. And I did take pictures, but they're not presentable. So about Madonna and Rocco, who's 15. Well, they've reunited after 4 months of going back and forth. Now, if you've got a 15-year-old, you know, there's a lot that goes on. Remember, Rocco ran away from Madonna to live with his dad in England, and then Madonna didn't, I guess, give two craps about it because she continued her tour. See, that's when a mom is supposed to stop everything and all hands on deck. But she continued to tour and do things that would probably embarrass a 15-year-old regarding her attire and riding a bicycle and tipping it off and, you know, Anyway, it looks like they came to an agreement, Rocco and he, because yesterday, Rocco visited Madonna's house in London. Now the tour is over, so she's settled in London. Guy, his father, dropped him off. There's Rocco, he's got his skateboard. And all in all, he looked really happy. This is what he looked like on his way to go skateboarding with his friends. Big cheesy smile. He looks older than 15 though, right? Yes. Anyway, so after being in the house for 2 hours, you know, the paparazzi's very nosy. They just wait outside to see what's gonna happen next. So 2 hours later, Rocco left to skateboard with his friends. And in my morning meeting, you know, some of the people were like, well, Wendy, don't you think they should have spent more than 2 hours together? I said, no. With these kids, you have to take your moment when you can, make it count for that moment, and don't try to hold them hostage. Because they sense when you're trying to push a moment on them, as opposed to, what you have to do with your kids is you have to make them think it's their idea to talk to you. Not your idea to talk to them. You know what I mean? And then when they go skateboarding, let them go skateboarding and let him come back. You can't force family time, particularly with teenagers. They hate it. They hate forced family time. Anyway, and I want to shout out to Peter Thomas. Peter, well, look, Peter and his Sports One family there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Peter, You know, you're a stand-up guy this past weekend, you know, for what all you did and the accommodations that you made and stuff like that. I don't know you. All I know is what I watch on TV, but I do know that I met you long before you got with Cynthia when I was a struggling DJ and could have used a few coins. And you put me involved with one of your original business ventures, How Can I Be Down in Miami? Yeah. So, you know, but thank you for being so gracious to my people this past weekend. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are battling over a baby. And according to OK Magazine, this is a beautiful dress. See, this is all I know her as. After Gossip Girl, I tapped out. Like, what does she do? She made one of those Jessica Alba type websites to help people. Hi, Suzanne.
Oh, hello, Wendy.
Did you get new sneakers?
I do. I have new sneakers on.
They're very bright.
Thank you very much.
I can see you coming and going. All right. So according to OK Magazine, though, Ryan, who's 39, is pushing Blake, who's 28, for baby number 2. Now, they already have a baby. But she wants to focus on her acting career. Now, that site that she had that, you know, had the stuff that's good for you closed down after about a year being open. So she wants to get back into acting. And my thing is, she should be allowed to do this if she would like to at 28 years old. The problem is that this is where age gap does make a difference. There is a significant difference between a 28-year-old girl and a 39-year-old guy. You know, he's probably in a different place in his, like, he wants his kids. But she understands that, you know, at 30 you're old in Hollywood, at 35 it's even harder, and at 40, so she's trying and struggling. If I were he and her, what I would do is I would sit down and I would have family meeting. That would just be the two of us. And the family meeting would be like this. Look, I realize that you want to have a baby, another baby, Ryan. So what I decided is, and I'll be 29 in August, right? So she's about to be 29. By 33, if nothing has popped with my acting career, 33, that gives her a healthy amount of time. And Ryan, and I'll still be good, you know, to co-parent or parent and whatnot. And I'll start taking my, yeah, what do you call that you take? Not chloroform. Oh. What do you, no, besides prenatal vitamins, no, there's something else.
Folic acid?
Folic acid.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll start taking my folic acid, you know, on my 30th birthday. And, you know, but I'm gonna stay on birth control until I'm 33 or 2 and then get off. Don't you think that would be a fair compromise? In the meantime, he's the bigger star with a bigger name as far as acting. If I were him, I'd be calling behind her back. Block her. Don't give her that job. Yeah, because that's the kind of husband I am. You know, you know. And it's gotta be really super competitive when you're married to, you know, another actor, or like even when you're a doctor and you're married to another doctor or something like that. When you're married to somebody directly who does directly what you do, it's gotta be real competitive. Like maybe he doesn't want her star to shine in the acting way. Maybe he prefers for her to be a walking mannequin, which, no, and I mean that in a good way. Every time you open a magazine, who do you see? And what are they talking about? What she's wearing. Yep, there she is. That's beautiful, right? I don't know. There are a million pretty faces in Hollywood, Blake. You know, I mean, good luck trying, but good luck. Have you seen Arnold Schwarzenegger's Love Child with Mildred the Maid? No, I mean a recent picture. Well, that's what I'm here for. It's our hot shot of the day. Hit it. Oh, he's only 18 years old. His name is Joseph, and he's really big. He's got a strong face. He looks like a perfect combination of his dad and his mom. Yes, well, yeah, now show mom. You know, and here's what I find odd about this. Not odd, but just, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. Here's what's uncomfortable about the whole situation. Wait, do we have the picture of Joseph dressed up as Conan for a side-by-side with Arnold dressed as Conan? All right, that's him at Halloween with his mom. But we got the same picture of Arnold dressed as Conan too. Hello, wake up, it's Monday. We got, thank you. And yeah, there we go. So here's what's disturbing to me about this, and get what I'm saying, I'm gonna try to phrase it right. It has got to be difficult being as other kids to see that the oops baby looks more like dad than they do. Because Patrick Schwarzenegger does not look like his father. But this boy right here looks like his dad. Ugh. I just hope he's a nice boy. He seems like a nice boy. He stays out of trouble. At 18 years old, there's a whole lot more that we report about these wild kids in Hollywood from the rich and the famous. So, you know, good for you, Arnold, being able to, you know, harness everything. But shame on you for jumping off from the jump.